We open the third game in the Arkham series inside the Batcave, and the game's story takes place about 8 years before the events of Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins. Anyway, Bruce Wayne looks at his monitor where police officer Gordon is denying the existence of a quote Batman. Bruce hears a radio transmission which sets up for our main baddie for Batman to take down in the form of Roman Sionis or Black Mask. Alfred tells Batman it's Christmas Eve as Batman goes about his new job beating the shit out of street thugs. Batman heads into Blackgate prison where he notices Warden Joseph get mollywopped with a baseball bat by Black Mask Goon. The guard sees Batman's shadow and takes a swing, but Batman is Batman and he de-arms this guy by snapping his fucking fibula. Batman dodges a shot from the warden and interrogates him about Black Mask's location, where they then hear a really loud roar. Batman moves further into Blackgate and he sees big-ass crocodile man Killer Croc toss a dumb goon off the platform. Batman breaks down a wall and gets a nosebleed seat on Black Mask and Croc wreaking havoc and talking trash to Commissioner Loeb. Batman knows time is running short and he clears the room. Batman watches from the vents where he then is behind a two-way window as Black Mask orders his men to lock Loeb into this gas pod, can't say the other word that I was going to, and Commissioner Loeb is killed. Batman is gonna make Black Mask pay for his crimes, and this is when Batman sees Black Mask flying off in a helicopter, but Killer Croc then tells the chopper to leave as Croc has caught Batman's scent, and now we have our first boss fight underway. Batman must avoid and dodge and give Croc some haymakers to keep him occupied. Eventually Croc tries to incinerate Batman with a propane tank, but a few batarangs and a wheel kick later, and now Croc is locked up against the fallen gate. While Batman gets some answers out of the monster, Croc tells Batman that Black Mask has assassins, and it seems as if they have put a hit out on Batman. GCPD roll up on Batman with guns and lights drawn, but Batman says nah and zooms out of there on the Batwing. Batman in the Batcave analyzes a memory drive he nabbed from the broken drone that he found, and Batman gives us the rundown of all the assassins. Deathstroke, a hired mercenary with extreme military experience, Firefly, a pyromaniac with a jetpack, Copperhead, a known androgynous killer and thief with the fighting style of the Snake, Deadshot, expert sharpshooter who we took down in Asylum and in a side mission in Arkham City, Electrocutioner, the most D-level Batman villain you will ever see, Shiva, a member of the League of Assassins who Bruce has history with, which I'll get to later, and the last one needs no introduction as Bane will be our final assassin. Killer Croc has already been locked up, so one of the 8 have already been taken down, and Batman's new mission is to take down all of the hitmen to keep them from grabbing that $50 million reward money. Batman heads back into Arkham where the signal for the Batwing is being jammed. Batman clears out a room and saves some hostages from the armed penguin guards. Batman notices a crime scene where some guy got blown up through a wall after a booby-trapped access panel. Batman uploads the dead guy's fingerprints and breaks the door down and continues his mission up the ladder. Batman heads to Jezebel Plaza where he looks to ambush a weapons trade taking place between Penguin and Black Masked men. Batman heads up on a trusty gargoyle and this dope-ass camera shot ensues where we see a dumbass named Ricky Loose Lips LeBlanc, worst name to be in a prison to be honest. Loose Lips gets the briefcase from Pulp Fiction and the other guy gets to see this new sniper rifle in action. Batman clears out the henchman and Spartan kicks Lips through his Santa chair. Batman chokes Loose Lips unconscious.
Damn.
Loose Lips wakes up and he's being held upside down by Batman off the plaza roof, and when Batman lets him go, he face plants against the clock. Batman pulls Ricky up again and grabs his phone and sees a message from Cobblepot. Batman has everything he needs and he lets Ricky crash down onto the huge-ass Christmas tree. Batman finds the final SIM card and Penguin reveals himself to be holding a fight club aboard an old ship called the Final Offer. Batman clears out the welcoming committee for tonight's pay-per-view and he drops down into the fight pit where a very, and I mean very British lady named Tracy, who is one of Penguin's hoes, welcomes Batman's opponent, the Electrocutioner. Bullshitsky threatens to kill Batman, jumpstart his heart and kill him again, but Batman has the squash match of the century when he ninja kicks Lester in the jaw. Batman takes out the rest of the idiots that Tracy sends his way in proper Batman fashion, and then Batman interrogates a goon who tells of Penguin's location in his office. Batman heads into the ship where Tracy says the Electrocutioner has come to and escaped. Batman then steals a SIM card from a walkie-talkie. Batman decrypts a Penguin signal and heads up to the elevator into the security office where Tracy tries to cheap shot Batman, but Batman locks her in a cage for being too British. Batman saves a member of the rival Falcone gang who tells him that young Albert Falcone is being tortured by Penguin. Candy reads Alberto his crimes where Cobblepot whacks him in the gut and picks up a cattle prod, and he tries to manipulate Alberto into doing his bidding. Batman tosses a batarang and the prod goes flying, where Batman then takes out Penguin's men and then yeets Penguin into a mirror. Batman throws him off a platform and asks,
"Where is he?"
Batman keeps beating the shit out of Penguin and holds him in the air where Penguin mentions a murder at Lacey Towers, but this is when Batman gets grappled out of the room by the third assassin, Deathstroke. Batman and Deathstroke are ready to have the battle of the fucking century. This is probably my favorite boss fight out of any of the Arkham games. I just love the back and forth fluidity between the combat, and also people that dodged all counters achievement. Batman disarms Slade of his weapons and then throws his sword near his head and then spin kicks Deathstroke to sleep. Penguin slaps Candy's ass and locks Batman out so that he can get peanut butter licked out of his belly button with his bitches. As Batman begins to run out of the ship, we see a guy named Anarchy who literally preaches about his name and how Gotham is corrupted. And yeah, he doesn't have a very original motivation. Batman finds an anarchist who gives Batman a message, and Anarchy reveals he has planted 3 bombs throughout the city, and Batman has to go defuse one of them in less than 3 minutes. Batman takes care of the anarchist and rips out the guts of the first bomb. Batman heads to the Lacey Towers and hacks into the GCPD communications, where he takes care of 2 blockheads that enter through the rooftops. Batman takes some time to analyze this crime scene, as it appears that Roman Sionis is the person who was killed, but this can't be the case because we ran into Black Mask earlier. Batman can't conclude this case without access to the National Criminal Database, which Batman will have to retrieve from an internal source. Batman heads to the Batcave to pick up the concussion detonator, which he will use on his way inside the GCPD. Batman takes out a bunch of armed police officers on the roof and breaks in through an old elevator shaft to infiltrate. Batman finds a bunch of corrupt cops kicking the shit out of a homeless guy, and then Batman has to tightrope over the crowd and then steal this guy's coffee from the vending machine. Batman breaks into the other side of the interrogation room and slams his guards face against the wall, where he finds Loose Lips once again, and Batman questions Loose Lips about the disruptor weapon, and then Batman puts him to sleep. Batman heads into the infirmary, which allows an access point for Batman to enter the evidence locker and acquire the disruptor. Batman heads back to the holding cells, where we see some mini Bane bosses attacking some cops, but Batman makes quick work of the sumbitches with ease. Batman disrupts the jammer on the server room door and walks inside, where we run into Barbara Gordon, where she lets Batman access the criminal database, and before Batman leaves, she asks why Batman does what he does, and he says that he made a promise, where the cops then deploy some tear gas. Batman avoids some shitty cops for a little, he hops into an elevator to avoid getting mowed down, and then when the elevator opens, he disarms Gordon like the bitch he is right now. Gordon starts to call Batman another villain and not a hero. Batman drops a smoke bomb and then takes out the firing squad. Batman heads down into the sewers to uplink the database to the Bat computer. Alfred confirms the connection, and Batman will now be able to perform DNA analysis. The DNA matches for Roman Sionis, but Roman owns the Gotham Merchants Bank, where he can access his own banks if he wanted to. Batman then gives us the full rundown of the crime. GCPD thinks that Penguin off Black Mask in the terms of a turf war between their gangs. Someone had spooked Roman's girlfriend Tiffany, which sent her to his safe house, but this allowed the intruder to kill his girlfriend, and when Roman tried to see what the fuss was about, he was shot. But this was a decoy. Black Mask himself would appear on the deck and get the jump on the intruder, but Roman was too weak. The fire was set off by a Molotov cocktail, and the intruder would force Roman to aim his gun at his girlfriend and pull the trigger, where we then see that the actual mastermind behind this, which is the Joker. Batman's next destination is the Gotham Merchants Bank, where he looks to crack open this conspiracy. Batman heads back to the surface, where 3 idiots in rabbit masks and rifles invite us to a party hosted by the Mad Hatter. He hacks into our comms, and we hear that he has a woman hostage, and by the words that he uses, we can definitely assume he's doing the worst, or at least plans to his Alice. Batman takes out an anarchy bomb on his way to Mad Hatter's shop, where we expect some more trippy LSD hallucination shit. Batman heads into the shop and clears out all the bunny thugs while the small Hatter watches on. Mad Hatter welcomes Batman to his party, but Batman says fuck your shit, where's the girl? And then when Batman looks at the clock, we are transported into Wonderland. Batman must traverse through this Carol-written acid-tripping platform game where these doors always had a door leading to a door which leads to another door. Batman ziplines through the shitty playing card on a platform, and then the pendulum takes out the cards behind Batman, which leads him to climbing the clock tower, which leads back to the hat shop. He then reverses a batarang to knock down the mercury-sniffing supervillain. Alice is definitely not okay, but the Mad Hatter has been taken down. Batman finally gets to the Merchant's Bank, where he hacks a door and notices all the bodies strung about the main entrance. Batman breaks in through the roof and confronts Black Mask, where he looks for the Joker. Roman denies it and holds a gun to this woman's head, who begins laughing. Black Mask brings out someone with a bag over his head, and it's Roman Sionis. Fake Mask starts hitting Sionis with his gun, and we see the reveal that Joker has been controlling his army since the murder at Lacey Towers. Joker takes some shots at Batman, but B-Man is bulletproof, and then Joker blows the safe, knocking out Batman and the Joker lady, who died in the blast, but goddamn. You ugly as shit. Batman takes out all the Joker guards and interrogates the final one, where Joker is heading the Sionis steel mill, and he's planning on executing Black Mask. Batman heads outside and he finds a baby carriage where he hears a child crying, but nothing is in it. Shiva appears out of nowhere and she tells Batman that an innocent man is about to die, and then Shiva just disappears. Batman heads over to where the innocent man is, and he's being held over an electrified fountain. Batman punches through the electric box and gets attacked by a couple of ninjas. Batman scans some blood on the side of the fountain, and this allows Batman to find the other police officer that he must save from Shiva. It's too late, as Shiva has already killed the cop, and as she tries to sneak attack Batman, Shiva gets spin kicked into a wall. Inside the mill, Batman uploads data from Sionis' servers, which reveals that Sionis has had a pacemaker put in, and it also finds the Joker being followed by Sionis' men, and Alfred also sends the building security codes to access. Batman heads into an elevator where he hears a man screaming as well as evil female laughter, Batman finds a body that has died from acute toxicity. Batman clears out another room of armed Joker thugs and heads up to Black Mask's office where Sionis is being held by chains. Batman lets him out and starts kicking his shit in for answers. Meanwhile, Copperhead slithers above the interrogation as Batman looks to control his pacemaker. Copperhead appears and she kicks Batman in the face a few times and avoids his offense and then nails him in the neck with some venom. Batman's body is starting to shut down to the toxin, but he is able to scan her poison, which turns out to be a neurotoxin, where he orders Alfred to synthesize an antidote. Batman waddles and stumbles his way over to the door to retrieve his cure, but he starts to hallucinate his typical Batman doubts as Alfred berates him about being a spoiled and waste of a family named Wayne. Batman sees Loeb dying once again, calling him a fake hero. Batman finds the creepy Joker bank manager inside the elevator, and Batman is really starting to trip balls in this game. Batman starts walking towards the light as Copperhead awaits him, who then splits into 3 Copperheads, and Batman splits their shit. Batman begins to be surrounded by Copperheads, and Batman ain't fucking around no more. Batman clears out all of the clones and sees the antidote drop in through the roof. Batman wastes no time and cures himself of all illnesses for a strength buff, and then when Copperhead goes to attack, Batman yagas her onto the floor and then yeets her into a shipping container, where Copperhead says Joker has called a meeting. Batman goes to find the signal of Electrocutioner's gloves, which causes him to unintentionally run into the 3rd Anarchy supporter, and then destroys the last of the 3 bombs set by Anarchy. Batman locates the signal inside the Gotham Royal Hotel, where he then takes out a bunch of armed guards on his way up, and gains access into the security room. We get a glimpse inside the room where Electrocutioner, Black Mask, Firefly, and Bane are having a meeting, and this is when Joker takes off his mask to reveal himself. Electrocutioner tries to stand up to the Joker, but this causes dumbass Executioner to get sat down in a chair and then get kicked out of the shot-out window, where he crash lands in front of Batman. Firefly jets out of there, and Bane tells Joker he's going to stay because Batman is after him now, so he tells Joker to sit down. Batman goes over to Lester's body and he steals the shot gloves from him. Batman continues his journey up the building and finds a bunch of electric chairs with the Joker guards locked inside, which Batman quickly saves them from certain danger. Batman pops some balloons to save this guard from something, and then he flies over to the rail where Batman lays out some idiots. Batman finds his way up to the 28th floor, where he finds a bomb that has been rigged to blow in about a week on New Year's Eve. Batman tries to defuse the bomb with the sequencer, but that just makes the bomb blow up in T-minus 23 seconds. Shit. Batman escapes the window and jumps on a news chopper as the explosion goes off. Batman starts whooping ass on the rooftop with the camera coming from the helicopter, which is pretty dope. Batman on the 40th floor now. Alfred is concerned that Gordon and the GCPD would be valuable allies for him, but of course this is young Batman, so he's an impulsive lone wolf. Batman finds the penthouse elevator and he climbs up the elevator shaft, but Bane just literally rips Batman through the roof and just slams him against the hotel walls repeatedly, where he's then at the feet of the Joker. Bane is about to kill Batman, but Joker tells him to stop or he might blow up Bane's head. I don't know what this detonator is for. Joker plays deal or no deal and then just picks a detonator and blows up his building, which Joker says is a construction site. Batman throws him across the table and then Joker finds another detonator, but Batman breaks it and then hits him in the face with it. Batman continues to subdue Joker, but Bane appears and uppercuts the Bat. Bane holds Batman up in the air because fan service, and then they head into the penthouse library where Bane and Batman will collide for the 3rd time in the Arkham series. Bane gets lightened up by Batman, but when it's time to stop fucking around, Bane rips off his jacket and shows off the venom tubes, where Batman must now rip out all of those out of his back or Bane's gonna break him in half. Bane grabs Batman and just throws him out of the window onto a rooftop, where Joker gets a great view of stage 2 of the boss fight. Bane pounds the ground and he notices the 2 police choppers ready to apprehend Bane, Joker, and Batman. Joker starts firing away with a rifle at the choppers and Bane's men get gunned down, and yet Bane is like
just a flesh wound
as the 2 helicopters collide. Bane escapes onto an adjacent chopper where Batman was able to throw a tracker on his back. Bane gets shot at by the Joker, but Bane just fires an RPG behind Joker and he goes flying off the rooftop. Batman dives after the clown, and Joker still wants to fight. Batman headbutts Joker and saves them from death as they crash down to the ground. Joker sticks his revolver in Batman's face, but instead of shooting Bruce, he kills his 2 men behind him, says that they deserve death just like him, and then Batman stops Joker from shooting himself. GCPD roll in and apprehend Joker and Batman, but Batman is able to leave Joker to the wolves and escape from police clutches. Gordon orders that Joker be taken to Blackgate prison, and the police begin to question Joker about the Bat being his partner, but Joker is wondering why someone like Batman would even save him. We are now inside Blackgate prison, where Joker is getting a psychiatric evaluation, and Joker talks about having a really bad day. Joker delivers a monologue about a memory being so cruel, and talking about the madness that the outside world presents. Joker talks about how Batman's arrival deformed his memories and made him rethink his whole identity, really making him question who Batman is. The psychologist is still just as confused as me. Joker starts walking in the chemical plant with the red bucket on his head with a cape and is told to walk forward, where we also can see a ghost version of Batman, which makes sense if this is how Joker really sees Batman. Joker just wants to kill and raise chaos because his life had no meaning to him, but since Batman was gonna let him live, he was given meaning in his life just because there was someone to stop him. Joker spits some game at his therapist, and if you didn't get it by now, the psychologist is the prelude to Harley Quinn, Harleen Quinzel. Joker takes advantage of her loneliness and calls her a friend. And was it really that easy to bag Harley like that? I need some Joker game, bro. Batman is back in the Batcave, and Batman is still contemplating about why he saved Joker. Batman hallucinates his dead parents again, but this time we actually see the crime happening. Alfred tries to feed Bruce Christmas dinner, but Batman is more about finding Bane than eating that delicious grub. Batman tunes into the police radio and he hears that someone resembling Bane could be in the GCPD morgue. Alfred has finished making a new gadget for us in the form of the glue grenade. Batman looks to head back into town, but Alfred stops him in his tracks and tells Batman he is outmatched, and he cares too much about Bruce to see him continue to hurt himself. Batman is hard-headed and refuses to listen to Alfred's concerns, and he says he isn't over his head, and all the assassins are gonna meet their shit tonight. Batman heads over to Wonder Tower and looks to complete Shiva's test, where he easily beats the shit out of her ninjas and Shiva herself. Shiva pulls out her sword and tries to slash Batman, but Batman is too suave for Shiva's shit, and then she admits that Batman has too much swag and then tries to arrest her, but Shiva just easily disappears. Batman goes to confront Anarchy at the courthouse and finally lock up another prisoner in jail. Anarchy tells Batman that they should be in alliance, but Batman says hell no because he is a bomb maker. Anarchy says Batman doesn't consider himself a criminal, yet he has all these weapons and commits crimes every night. Batman is tired of Anarchy's shit and takes out all of his losers. Batman takes off Anarchy's mask and he sees that he is just a young teenager. Anarchy calls the citizens of Gotham weak, but this just flashes to him with his hands tied up and GCPD on their way. Into the morgue, Batman finds Bane and he scans the body, but it is clearly not Bane. Batman finds the compound mixed with the street drug Venom, and that will be eventually known as Titan, is affecting the henchmen. Prolonged use of the drug can provide dangerous memory damage to the user. Batman locates Bane's tracking device to his headquarters, where he finds Bane is trying to complete his new substance of venom called TN1. Batman enters a room where he sees pictures of himself, and on the computers, footage of Bruce Wayne and Batman individually. Batman realizes this is a threat to his identity, and he warns Alfred and destroys the evidence that Bane has. Batman tries to hurry back to the Batcave, where he then hears that Firefly has hostages on the Pioneer's Bridge, and he also has set up firebombs. Batman rushes to the bridge where Firefly is causing havoc, setting everything on fire, and he goes to chase after the unmanned Batwing, which will keep him occupied for the moment. Batman sees Gordon in the maintenance room and hides as he warns Gordon to don't send in his men or they will kill the hostages. Batman reiterates that Firefly will be taken in by him and only him. Batman clears an armed room and he interrogates the surrendering enemy, where he reveals that Firefly has set up 4 bombs, and Batman goes to disarm all of them as he clears the first one. Batman clears out the train station, where he then disarms the second bomb, which is containing a train car holding the hostages. Batman tells Gordon to open the fire door, but Gordon just tells him to get off the fucking frequency. Alfred works on grabbing the access codes as Batman goes to disarm bomb number 3. Batman traverses on the side of the bridge, takes out some snipers, and then disarms the third bomb with very painfully obvious passwords for a pyromaniac. Batman sees Firefly lighting some vehicles on fire, where Batman has to go even faster to defuse the last bomb. Batman finds the last bomb, but GCPD starts storming in, where Alfred then opens the fire door, and Batman is one step ahead of GCPD's finest. Firefly appears to Batman and he looks to make some fried bat, but Batman tells him there's no more prize money because Joker is behind bars. Batman grapples on the Firefly's back and continues to mess with him by chucking a batarang. Batman keeps Firefly company with some batarangs, glue grenade tosses, and a couple of Batclaw pull-downs to make Garfield our bitch. Firefly tries to barbecue us again, and as he drops his remote detonator, he presses the button, but nothing happens. Batman tries to avoid 3-degree burns for a while, until Batman finds a big enough space to fight Lens after sliding under a big rig and continues his bat spit grenade assault. Batman gets Gar in just the right spot and gets some well-placed punches on Firefly in the jetpack. Batman grapples on the Firefly to avoid being incinerated. As Firefly turns to shoot Batman, he stops him and punches him in the face and puts a concussion detonator on his wing, where then Batman rips it off, rendering him useless. Harvey Bullock and Gordon walk up to Firefly, who is dangling by a foot off the top of the bridge, and Bullock questions Gordon's tactics. Batman tells Gordon he should have got to that last bomb, and Gordon says he should have gave access to Batman to the fire door, but Batman leaves before anything else is said. Batman heads back to the Batcave, where he thought Alfred would be safe, but Bane has infiltrated the Batcave and he roughed up the place, and Alfred is nowhere to be seen or heard. Batman boots back up the Batcomputer and finds Alfred with his detective mode. Alfred has taken too much damage and sadly succumbs to his injuries right in Bruce's arms. Oh wait, this is a prequel, baby. So Batman uses the electrocutioner's gloves as makeshift defibrillators and shocks Alfred back to life. Alfred is recovering on the medbed, and he tells Bruce that he has always been supportive, but this is where Batman questions if he can defend Gotham because he can't even defend his own home. home. Alfred says that a man's strength doesn't just come from his intelligence and brawn, but also on his allies. Batman then suits up and hears Joker has escaped Blackgate and is leading a prison riot. Batman gets to the prison and takes out some armed Joker thugs inside who are also holding people hostage. Batman takes out all of the goons and rescues Dr. Quinzel, who seems like she isn't even fazed about almost being killed. Harleen tells us that Joker is waiting for us in the Panopticon. Batman runs by the cell and sees a familiar face, Slade Wilson. Joker thinks that Deathstroke is too dangerous and he has kept them locked up. Batman takes out a hell of a lot of prison inmates who think they can take on Batman, where he then gets to the freak show. Batman sees Joker holding the warden hostage with a knife to his neck. Bane walks in like he's 2003 Kane, and Joker says that Bane is holding a heart monitor, and every time it beats it will charge the battery on the electric chair, and Joker will show you what happens when it's done. Joker threatens for Batman to kill Bane, but if Batman doesn't kill Bane, then Joker will die on the chair, so Batman will have to kill someone in order to save another. Batman whoops some ass for a little bit until Bane breaks his back and steps on his throat. Gordon breaks in and shoots the two thugs holding the warden hostage, and then when they try to secure Joker, Joker takes down Joseph and then puts the helmet on Gordon and holds the gun to his head in the chair, so now Gordon's life is on the line. Batman remembers what electrocutioner's gloves can do, so he gives Bane a beatdown, and then he temporarily stops Bane's heart with the glove, killing him in the process. Batman says that he played the game, but Joker is a cheater and is about to shoot the warden, but Gordon hops in front of Joseph and luckily it hit him in the vest. Batman resuscitates Bane with the glove, and Bane is not appreciative and goozles Batman by the throat. Bane then injects himself with the TM1 formula, which I think is what caused him to be so behemoth-like in the first two games. Batman blows the floor from beneath he and Bane, and now we're in a cat and mouse level boss fight. Batman runs Bane into a couple of electric gates to soften him up. Batman goes to tell Alfred, but Bane has a third wind and starts caving in Batman's chest cavity, and then punches him through a solid concrete wall. Bane runs at Batman, but he uses the remote claw to hold his arms back, which sends electrical shocks up his arm and knocks him out. Bane is then tied up by a single foot, remembering he needs to find the Batman. Batman says that the TM1 has damaged Bane's memory, so now Bane will not remember Batman's identity when he comes to. Batman finds Warden Joseph, who has been hit by a sniper. And as Batman tries to help him, Killer Croc appears and tries to eat Batman, but Gordon then baseball bats the sniper, which hits Croc and causes him to flee. Batman and Gordon hold off Joker's forces by beating the shit out of him together, and Batman double times it towards the chapel, where he finds Joker on the altar. Batman holds Joker in the air, and Joker praises Batman for killing Bane, but Batman reveals he is not dead. Joker is no longer being funny and tries to blow Batman's brains out, but Batman kicks him through the door, and then yeets him through a church window. Joker picks up a piece of the broken glass and tries to stab Batman a few times, but Batman gives Joker the beating of his life in the ultimate freeze frames and beatdown attacks, which ends with a monster uppercut. Joker demands Batman keeps beating the shit out of him, and Joker says there is one way to stop me, but Batman stops himself from choking the shit out of Joker and just mollywops him with a right hand. Batman gives Gordon his gun, and Gordon says he still has to take Batman in, but Batman disappears before Gordon could even know it. Gordon tells his daughter that he let Batman go because she believes in him. Joker has been taken to Arkham Asylum, where Batman flies over the moon and our game ends. We do have one end credit scene I want to mention because it has to do with the upcoming game I'm going to be covering in the future. At Blackgate Prison, Slade continues to do his push-ups, where it looks like Agent Waller, the foreman behind Task Force X or the Suicide Squad, offers Deathstroke an opportunity to be on the team. Thank you guys for watching this recap of Arkham Origins. I'm so glad that we have more people watching. Thank you guys for all of the love on the Injustice video. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all and talk to you all later.